What is Gucci with you? This is your boy. This is your author, Tehuti. We are back with part 9 of episode 3 of Tablet Talks. Here in Tablet Talks in episode 3, we are still going through this tablet written by a woman who claims that she is in divine union with me and desires all these other women to be in divine union with me as well. So it's basically this tablet has helped me make a lot of connections as to why I've had this cult of women in this lifetime as chase associated with me making Spider-Man and Black Panther costumes at conventions worshiping me before I realized I was Thoth. It was a weird big part of my awakening journey and still is now as I'm reading these tablets and seeing just how everything is connected subconsciously. So as I started getting sexually harassed by this cult of girls in late 2016, this rendition, these tablets, were published in early 2017, which literally means that they were being formulated in that time that the cult made its way in my life as well. And this is just a thing in general where it's like worship is not my thing, not my cup of tea. It's just we live in a society that's so obsessed with it that I literally would have to create a body here as myself, like I am now, to explain all the intricacies as to why and how worship is toxic. So this woman, Danielle, she's in divine union with me. She's saying that she wants everyone else in divine union with me. So it's just more colonialism, and it's like roping me into that colonialism. And my relationships with women have been very much them wanting things from me, being in like super lusty vibrational state of like desiring really whatever they perceive they can get from me, which like at the beginning and end of the day is under the umbrella of wisdom. So it's like women are wisdom, but women don't want to be alone. Although women are the wisest, they want to be a man. They want to be with a man that they feel like is wiser than them. So that's where women will create the circumstances with their infinite wisdom to be with a man who they feel like is wiser so that they can actually be comfortable. Because the woman doesn't want to be alone. If the spirit made a female body, she wants to be with a man that fulfills her male desires. So that's where it's like all vibrational, really, because men are all about being independent and women all about being collective. So they think about the collective, men think about themselves, and that's where these tablets, as we can see, are very much all reliant on making women want to connect with me and be collective with me. And then they're colonizing all the imaginations of all these spirits that are projecting their light onto me, and like with this whole vibration thing and like connecting me. This is blah. Yeah. I would love to connect with beautiful, awesome, spiritual women, whatever. Would love to, who genuinely appreciate me instead of like wanting things from me, expecting that things will be better when they get with me. And really, I don't want to be with a woman that doesn't love herself. So if you're worshiping me as a woman and you're chasing me and you're showing me that you need me, all you're showing me is that you hate yourself and that you're using me to distract yourself from yourself. And that doesn't make me feel special. If anything, the more you worship me, the more I don't feel special, the more I just know that you feel like you're not special. Because we're all infinite nothingness. The moment you're focusing on me like I'm better than you, you're just letting me know that you have a lot of subconscious issues that I'm going to keep being involved in, wrapped up in, if I don't pull out my L and separate from you. So that's where just so many girls I've had to just keep like separating from them, and I've like had to it's been whack because I'm sure so like a good amount of the girls that I have blocked um were not involved with this cult. We're not involved with this energy of we need to be in divine union with Thoth and trying to invade my space against my consent because I didn't give consent to this, but in their mind they did. And then it's like weirdly subconscious where it manifests in my life where then it's yeah, whatever, bro. This whole tablet and everything, as we can see in here with Danielle talking about how Thoth has this whole ring of inclusion, and you're supposed to be in divine union inside the ring of inclusion and like feel your like just be the vibration and like be with Thoth and make sure that you're like remembering the unity within and be married, just all this stuff that is cult mentality. Like as we're reading through these tablets, we can see they want you to make a cult around worshiping me and worshiping the idea of being one through me, which is how then all these women are just relating together based on me. So it's this is like everything's like it manifests stuff, bro. Earth comes out of water. So I would just really appreciate it if these women would stop wanting to have sex with me in such a lusty way before wanting to have sex with themselves. If you as a woman don't want to have sex with yourself, then why should I want to have sex with you? Like that's insane. If you can't be alone and unite your own feelings and your own thoughts together and fast like I can, then just like keep a distance. Just keep a distance. Because I have to be selective with my energy and my freedom. I'm very sensitive. And bro, whatever. These tablets are lostness. We can see the tablets, they're weaponizing everything that I've put out. Anything I've put out, it's like so much jibber jabber, but like they're using things that I say as far as the truth that you are infinite, you're individual, you're unique, but it's because of all the number stuff I'm kicking. None of these tablets are going to have me explaining things the way that I'm explaining them as Chase Clarence Calloway. All these tablets are about making you get lost in a cult. The cult being the cult of Lucifer, the Council of Light, whatever getting lostness in whatever metallic logic they've made up to disconnect you from your infinite spirit. And I only hang out with spirits who are actually expressing their infinity through their individual creations. Okay? We are individuals up here. As we continue all right, look, whatever. Vibrational autonomy. We're like blazing through this. Because these are like so long, these tablets. Just specifically, like she has like specifically crafted this book just to like really make feminine spirits feel good about being in union with me. It's like the weirdest feel good book, and then it's only doing the opposite of what is necessary. If you want to marry someone, you need to marry yourself. Anyone that you want to marry, anything you want to focus on externally is a reflection of what you're supposed to focus on internally. The world would love to make you lost in actually focusing on it externally, because that's how the simulation makes money and sucks your soul through money and stays powered, and spirits create their governments by making you focus on the external world instead of focusing on yourself. I would never teach you to focus and get married to me, because I don't want your marriage. I don't want people worshiping me. I don't want women chasing me down thinking that I can solve their problems and trying to connect with me when really they're just consuming my essence, and it's only destructive on me. It's only unhealthy for me. It's only not fair for me. Like what? Bro, like where's your empathy? Where's your empathy? I thought you were a woman. I thought you thought about the collective. But then that's just where the lies are, because these women read this and they're like, oh, well, Thoth said, you said that you wanted me to put my sins to the table and bring everything and remember the wholeness and just, yeah. So shame on these entities that are manipulating these younger spirits. Shame on these entities that are manipulating not even younger spirits, because let's not put age on it. I don't know their age. Just spirits with lower awareness slash spirits that don't love to be alone. So they're looking for a man to be alone with. But once they get that man, they're only going to bring all of their negative problems of why they don't want to be alone from their all one realm to that man. So that's where like I subconsciously get when these women, I'm just interacting with them and it's like they're expecting me to fix them. And it's like so weirdly subconscious how this has been in my life, where like at convention, like I'll meet so many people and like be interacting with people, and it's like somehow looking back, especially reflecting now, it's like people would know who I was without knowing who I was and without me knowing who I was. Like it's just all vibrational. It's all aura, for sure. But it's like, whatever, man. Hey, chapter 6. We're talking about vibration. So here we are. Vibrational autonomy. So they're talking about cosmic choice. This is just going to be repeating. What is this? A return to the uniqueness of you. Your true uniqueness is going to be found in your feeling. So when these tablets are trying to tell you to like ignore negative feelings, opposite. Truly, I'm telling you that all of your feelings are valid. Any negative feelings that you have and are resisting, you need to really sit with that and like really learn why you're resisting those feelings, because that's an essential part of your spirit and essential to creating life inside of your space. We've already seen how in the last part, they like expose themselves talking about like you desire to be comfortable, basically. So like this is reliant on preying on spirits who just want to be comfortable inside of light. As we continue our conversation within the energetic vortex environment of the tablets of light, we are brought to the subject of vibrational autonomy. Vibrational autonomy is something that is fostered through the pages of this book, through being within the walls of this temple. It is an environment that allows you to be you without any other vibrational confusion. It allows you to be you in a way that you are streaming forth more of your vibrational essence, because the energetic space and invitation to do so exists. So alrighty, right there, the invitation to do so, to bring forth, to stream forth more of your vibrational essence. They're literally just draining your soul. This is a super logical extra way of saying, give us your soul. Go feel better. Just as water will fill a vessel that's poured into, so does your essence fill your incarnation. Your soul fills your body, and they want both of them because they can't get your spirit. You can't actually touch a spirit. The spirit is nothing. You can't touch a spirit. All you can do is colonize how the spirit feels about itself and thus make it use its space to boost up your space by manipulating the bodies that it creates from its feeling. The tablets of light is the widening of the vessel of your incarnation. It's creating infinite space for you to occupy your unique essence, your vibrational complexity, the full bandwidth of your being, which is that of a being of light. Oh, you are not a being of light. You use light to express your infinite nothingness. Light, and like, who cares? You're not a being of light. You're not a being of light. You are not a being of light. You are not a being of light. You're just not a being of light. Like, that's just whack. You are a zero. You are nothing. Light is your imagination. Like, light is just whatever you want, because it's your desire. Like, that's what light is. And the more you desire, the heavier your light is. You feel me? Like, you see like how sin works. Like, when people think about sinning, it's because they're indulging in desires. So the more you want to do something, the heavier you become in general. This is spirit. because it's all just weight, aka time. Weird. Wait and wait. So when we're talking about, yeah, light, you're not actually a being of light at all. You're nothingness. You're using light to express yourself. And if they are trying to say that I'm saying that you're a being of light, it's because they colonized what I've put out, and they want to colonize your mind. So when they make you believe that you're a being of light, they control the light that you're seeing, because they're saying that you're not making up your own light. You are remembering this true light within you that is their light of unity consciousness. And they can only tell you what all this is because they taught you English. You see how it's a long con of like trapping your soul? As we speak about vibrational autonomy, there is the awareness of this widened vibrational landscape of you. As you have the space to occupy more of who it is that you are, you can reclaim your vibrational autonomy. An analogy is this. If there are several trees in a small area that begin to grow together, to become intertwined, yet if a tree has ample space to grow as large as it can, it will. It doesn't require intertwining with the other trees around it for it to grow. Yet it does require an environment that's conducive for that expanded growth, for that fullness of who it is, to optimize its height, width, and type. Okay? An outdated paradigm of separation consciousness. As we speak of vibrational autonomy, it's as if you have been vibrationally intertwined with consciousness. Separation consciousness has at its foundation the construct of surviving through the tribe. They're not smart. This isn't smart. Like now it's just like, oh man. I'm really glad you're with me. I feel so bad for the people who have been in this, and I have felt their badness because they worship me with their badness. So they bring it to my doorstep. This separation consciousness, like they're literally just like, they're making it, okay, desire and the things you don't desire. So when they're talking about separation consciousness, they're literally just boxing in like, all right, all the low vibrations like fear and things that you don't want to feel because they make you feel uncomfortable, that's separation consciousness. And they're just doing it best to say that it's outdated. This by its nature is not an environment that amplifies, like separation consciousness as its foundation is a construct of surviving through the tribe. That's the ego. So at this point, unity consciousness and separation consciousness are the same thing. See, like they're whack. They're whack. They're super whack. So we're talking about light and nothingness. And when nothingness turns into light or weight or just something, because that's what light is, it's something. It's something. It's not nothing. It's something based on the imagination of the nothing. Why'd I totally just space out? Yes, you creating light is desire in general. So unity consciousness and separation consciousness is the same thing. Because when the spirit separates from nothing, it then is doing that because it wants to express itself. And that's where it's unity consciousness, because it wants to express itself with other individuals who are also expressing itself. So it's consciousness. When they're trying to, the moment they're saying like there's different consciousness, they're really fucking up. Because it's then all consciousness. It's all light awareness, which is all subconscious because it's created from the subconscious. And that's actually what is pointing towards the unconscious, which is the true spirit. So they're trying to weaponize how the ego as a tribe. So humans tribally, when humans are like in this separation consciousness that they're talking about, it cultivated various forms of survival patterns that create a sense of consistent separation in order for you to be part of the tribe. Okay, look, the ego is worried about getting kicked out the tribe. To an ego, getting kicked out of the tribe feels like death. So that's where the ego separation consciousness is the ego being hyper negative because it's projecting out scenarios where it can get killed. That's separation consciousness. So it's unity consciousness. It's the same thing. Like the separation ideas are there to serve the unifying ideas. And it's all just about staying inside the simulation that you've chosen to be a part of at the moment. And you are nurturing your body with your subconscious mind. So consciously, unity consciousness and separation are the same thing. Because if you want to be with something, you need to know what it means to be separate from something. They're literally trying to colonize your mind so hard that they want you to like somehow ignore separation. And well, they're trying to ignore your spirit, and they want you to synonymify, make it synonymous, make separation synonymous with your spirit. They want you to be so separate from your spirit that you think anything outside of unity, outside of their desire, and outside of whatever light, love, desire that they're using a marriage with me to fulfill in you, these spirits that would resonate with this, they're using that to trap them. And they are using this to it's just literally, you can't have unity without separation. So it just shows the desire. Like, if you're going to be like, hey, you need to ignore these feelings because you need to know that everything is one. Well, like, what is survive? Like, how are things one without there being none? Like, it's still paradoxical then. It's still going to be that balance. So they're really trying to say, like, no, okay, look, when the ego is projecting out negative things because it's trying to unify and stay alive, that's unity consciousness. You can't avoid negativity. So if like you just assign your consciousness to some other light, you're going to be getting all their negative, toxic stuff weighing on your subconscious, because your subconscious is reflecting their light instead of reflecting its own light. That's where you're having sex with someone else, but not even really having sex. You're like just being dominated by them, and giving yourself up to just have life created inside of you in their image. And they don't even care about you. They act like they do so that they can do what they want with you. But if they really cared about you, if they really loved you, they would set you free. They would give you the tools for you to be free. As a real superhero, like a true superhero, a real superhero, as we can see in The Boys, is not a superhero that creates the problems that they claim to solve. That's like the ultimate supervillain. That's the point of The Boys. It's like those are superheroes that they are part of a corporate entity where they actually don't exist if there are not villains to fight, if there aren't problems to solve. So they're really exposing how the government has been running for centuries, and how the government is in the business of creating problems, using religions to create wars and create separation amongst humans so that they can unify them underneath ideas of separation in general, because an idea is separate from nothingness. So they're lost. This is true lostness for them, trying to be like, yes, like you need to remember unity and not separation. But it's like, that's literally them just doing their best to tell you not to go back to your spirit. Because at some point when you're in union with the Council of Light, Ring of Remembrance stuff, your spirit is going to use your subconscious mind to communicate some kind of vibration to you saying you need to get out of here. And they're doing their best to frame all of that as something that still needs to be worked on. Whether that came from all this is like about survival. That entire paradigm is, all right, no, I'll read this. It cultivated various forms of survival patterns that created a sense of consistent separation in order for you to be part of the tribe. That there was a greater awareness, perhaps, of what there was going on outside of you. Whether that came from the perspective of trying to keep yourself safe or trying to survive, looking for what might be dangerous, being invisible, hiding out, playing small to stay safe, anticipating what somebody else's mood might be, wanting their approval, not wanting their disapproval, a fear of being isolated, of being kicked out of the tribe, of being left behind. All of that equaled death. All of that equaled danger. Right. All of that threatened the very core of survival. That's what I'm saying. And they're literally trying to weaponize that as like that separation consciousness, when that is unity consciousness, because that's consciousness. Consciousness itself is separation and unity, because consciousness is the body expressing the subconscious, which is also unity and separation, aka unity, you're feminine, and separation, you're masculine, you're alone. Unity is your collective, your feeling, your thought is your alone. So you can't have one without the other. This is literally preying on spirits that don't want to feel their negativity, and they're letting themselves get convinced like, oh yeah, I'm not supposed to feel any thoughts that or feelings that I don't want to feel. I should get to express myself however I want. And that's what like this is training. So that's where like now these women consist like through life, through just lives, but like specifically this life, and specifically 2016 and 2017 starting there, and then going until like 2019, women were just projecting their flame, their desire at me so hard in ways that were like didn't even make sense, like blinding and disgusting, and like you are only counteracting yourself. It's like it was like where is this metaphysically coming from? And it very much seems like it's heavily tied to these tablets, where we're reading just how deeply they are training spirits to believe that they need to project all their imagination onto me and like be filled up, but also like get into vibrational resonance and remember the unity within forever. So like constantly unite with me. But it's all reliant on them not wanting to feel alone. So their woman is uncomfortable with their man, so they make a woman in the universe to go unite with a man so that that uncomfortable woman can be comfortable internally. That's what it looks like. So then spirits are like women coming to me, and they're trying to consume me and use me so that their woman can feel comfortable, so that then like they feel like they're actually using their feelings to nurture the right thought, because they don't have their own thoughts to nurture. So they want to chase this thought and nurture him with all of their toxic water. No, thank you. This Taurus is fine. Yeah, this is wild. So unity consciousness and separation consciousness are the same thing. All right. It's consciousness. We're extending vibrational units of consciousness to the origin of this illusion. If the premise of your incarnation is built on the fact that x equals 3, what? When x equals x or 3 equals 3, then anything that comes after that in that equation or in the solution of that equation will always be off, because it's built upon a faulty premise. Any place that you have separated from your vibrational autonomy and have not made it a top priority to remain connected to it, we invite you to dismantle that, to bring it into the wholeness, the oneness of all there is. They want you to just, they want to suck your soul so bad. They just are saying like, give us your vibration, give us all of your feelings so that we can power our world. By vibrational autonomy, we mean you being you and you staying connected to you, your essence, your fullness, your source consciousness. See, like they're like, that's weaponizing the way I would say it, which is you are connected to you. You are nothing. No one can tell you who you are. You can't even tell yourself who you are. All you can do is feel who you are. And that's the darkness. There's no light. There's nothing you can cling on to. The spirit is going to speak to you through darkness, through feelings, through things that can't be seen. And then it's up to the consciousness to make that seen. So that you utilize your cosmic choice if you choose to no longer being willing to separate yourself from source consciousness. So they're literally just saying like, yeah, don't be separate from source you don't want to be conscious. Like conscious is limited awareness. They're literally just trying to limit your awareness to whatever they want to limit it to. And they're, yeah. This is just so frustrating. Again, we're getting these reps in. That's the point of this series, is actually exposing the truth. I'm just truly baffled by how much I guess I have to do. I really don't feel like reading these tablets. This is so wrong. Like, I know people are very lost in these, so this is very important. I have the fire for it. It's just like, bro, do they even deserve this? All right. Wherever you have built this incarnation on the faulty premise that you need to separate from you, we invite you to deconstruct that, to include it back into the wholeness. See, they just keep repeating themselves. This is why I'm saying it's like a waste. Like, at least like the other two tablets were like quicker, but like this tablet claiming to be a transition or a transmission of my messages through this woman, this is truly like, it's funny, like written like a woman writing like me. Like, this is actually written like a woman imitating how a man would write, and imitating how she feels like I would write, where she's like, okay, Thoth is really wise, so it's like, here's like the stuff that I have to work with, so let me just repeat myself for over 100 pages, where it's just saying the same thing over and over, but drilling in the point, like, you are source consciousness, get married to me so that you can get to source consciousness, and that's when you'll truly be happy. Isn't that your desire, to be comfortable because you made a body here on earth because you don't want to be alone in your alone realm, in your internal realm? Ugh. I'm not here to teach you how to get lost. This is just so wild. This is not me. This is obvious that it's not me. The fact that they're trying to talk about freedom at the same time with unity consciousness, what kind of paradox is that? What kind of weird contradiction do I have to be in to be like, hey, I support your freedom, just make sure that your freedom is attached to the source consciousness and this unity and married to me and this whole inclusion ring. That's where true freedom is. Anytime you think about separation, don't. Is that freedom? Is that freedom? Me telling you what to do and me telling you how to live life and how it's going to make you, like, how is that freedom? Like, that doesn't make any sense. It's just truly, reliant on people having this desire to be connected so deeply that they don't even care how they're connected, really. Like, they just want to be connected to something because they're not really trying to connect to themselves that well. We're not saying that vibrational autonomy is equal to being a recluse or living on an island. We're saying that your vibration, unique essence, signature energy, signature source field, your beingness, that's what makes you uniquely you, is whole and complete and is so solid, it's so known to you that you don't leave it. You don't leave it when you drop your body, when you transition at the end of this lifespan. You don't leave it when somebody else around you wants you to do something else, or when somebody else around you is disconnected from his or her source. You don't leave it, period. It is the capacity to stay in your own rhythm, to stay on track with your inner compass. Vibrational autonomy is a part of your oracular vision, your capacity to see a pathway and hold that vision open. Okay, so your vibrational autonomy is your soul. Vibrational autonomy is your individual perspective on the universe. That's why they call it your soul. It's your one feeling about infinity. So it's like 8-dimension energy. And it is like created from your vision because it's like it has to be water that is made from you feeling like projecting out of nothingness. So all of life then is vibration. It's all subconscious because it's all connected to that. And they're talking about colonizing that. So yeah, if you're a drummer, you have a certain part of the song that's yours to play. You don't leave your beat to play the part of the song that's the guitarist part. This is giving yourself full permission to be who you are. Yeah, they're just really trying to colonize you. Skip. Unity consciousness exercise. Unwind any reason you use to separate from you. they're really weaponizing this English language to make you be enslaved on their system, to colonize your mind. You as your spirit are simultaneously separate from you and connected to you. That's the point of you making a body. You separate yourself so that you can learn how you connect with yourself when you're not alone. So that's why you're in the all one realm with all these other individual spirits, and other individual spirits are learning how they connect with themselves based on how they want you to connect with them. So these spirits want to colonize your mind, and they're okay colonizing my texts and taking my things to do that. So that shows a lot of their internal realm, and it shows a lot about the spirits who resonate with that to build that up. Recognizing what isn't yours. Whoa, what does that mean? It's not as if your vibrational autonomy didn't exist in the height of survival consciousness. It does. It did. You're upping the ante of it, the awareness of it. For some of you, this vibrational autonomy can appear so foreign. It's like the more vibrationally autonomous you are, the less you recognize the you. So that you, recognize the you that you knew yourself to be. Especially for those of you who are highly sensitive, highly empathetic. You may have thought that your personality was a certain way. Maybe it's that you have a propensity for sadness, or a propensity for fear, or a propensity for depression, or a propensity for the highest highs and the lowest lows. Stop being bad. It's just so flowery. It's like extend it, extend it, extend it, extend it, extend it. Like, they need to not. Ugh. Because it's just fluff, and it's less than fluff. It's metallic dust that is shredding in your lungs when you breathe it. It's not helping you. This aura, the vibration that they're cultivating with these tablets of light. Yet the more you actually are, the more you get to know your true self without the overlays of sensations that weren't uniquely you or yours to begin with. As we're speaking about the emotional body, right, the soul, the vibration, you may experience a certain range of emotions that you thought were yours that weren't really yours. They belong to your neighbor tree, or they originated on the other side of the earth where there is something happening. An earthquake, a tsunami, a plane crash, a child who didn't have enough to eat. What? What are they saying? That's crazy. They're literally saying that negative feelings from your soul are coming from negative things that happen on earth. Wow. This is disgusting that they're not mentioning your spirit at all, but that's the point. The more into your vibrational autonomy you move, the more you may feel as if you're not the you that you knew yourself to be. You may also experience the opposite, wherein you breathe a sigh of relief or have recognition of who you were, perhaps as a child when you were in an empowered state, when you were in a vibrationally autonomous state. Okay? I mean, children are pure vibration. That's the point. So, whatever. Your vibration is your soul, and you need to listen to your soul. They want to steal your soul. Your soul is not going to speak with words. It's up to your conscious body to translate feelings with words. That's the point of us making language in general as humans. We all feel like being on Earth, but it's now like, how do we communicate and practicalize that and do some sort of structure thing with that? You may have more energy. There may be different foods that you're drawn to. There may be a lightness of being or physical vitality, a shifting of the way your body looks. This process of standing in the potency of being the galactic pioneer that you are, the leader in consciousness, the visionary, is a process of letting go of who you thought yourself to be or how you thought the world worked. As you do this, you tap into what you carry. This is so wild. What you know. That unique expression that you're here to actualize. They want to steal your unique expression. Get here. Unity consciousness from there. Separation consciousness. So they're saying arrive at their unity consciousness from your separation consciousness. And yet, separation consciousness, vibrational enmeshment, is rocket fuel for being here as you include it into the oneness. That's what I'm saying. So they're literally like trying to say like, hey, join unity consciousness so you can avoid those negative thoughts. But just know that those negative thoughts are what is going to be the rocket fuel that propels you into wholeness, aka your soul. Your spirit is only going to feel like using its body to uphold this other system if it sends its vibration to do that. And that's what they're saying right here. That your vibration, your separation consciousness, which is how your spirit actually feels, because your spirit is separate. We are all separate. None of our spaces can touch. None of our spaces can touch. Like if we're all just imaginations, if we're all just flames in space and we don't make water, we are all individual flames that never touch. It literally takes us reflecting our own flames and cooling down our own imaginations so that we can actually connect with other spirits' imaginations. Then from there, we can ignite our own individual flame imaginations and actually create air and actually communicate our individual infinite imaginations with spirits who feel like connecting with us based on how our imaginations are already resonating at the time. Frequency. We know that at times it seems as if we're encouraging you towards a certain direction. What? Yeah. What are you talking about? We know at times it seems we're encouraging you as if this whole thing is not about making you take your mind onto unity consciousness and remember that you are divine, wholly united with me. What? Bro, this is all this is about, is pushing you into the direction of unity consciousness. That's your point. We also know that your system may interpret that encouragement to go in a certain direction as something to strive for, or that we have an expectation of you, or that in order to gain our approval, you need to become the best unity consciousness, vibrational, autonomous being on the planet. Oh my gosh. It's not like that. We always meet you at the 50-yard line, eye to eye, peer to peer, heart to heart, divine to divine, wholeness to wholeness. Yes, this book of Thoth's tablets has a direction, an invitation, and an oracular vision that is holding the door open for, and yet it's not. That it is being brought to you or done for you. It's always in response to your asking. It's always what you left for yourself to find. You're the origin of this material. Anywhere in the pages of the tablets of light that you might have been trying to please me, Thoth, allow that to fall away. How dare you? All there is you. See, it's like they're just taking my words and then stealing them to colonize your mind. Like, yeah, all there is you. You are the center of your universe. If you kill yourself right now, it's still you. They're trying to make you them, their source on their system. This is insane. There isn't a right or wrong path. What? You're saying the wrong path is separation consciousness and the right path is unity. What are you talking about? Be the you that you're divinely destined to be. This is so wild. As we provide divinity codes at this stage of the vibrational autonomy conversation, you're invited to step into your vibrational autonomy. Vibrational autonomy. Vibrational autonomy. This is disgusting, repetitive, and disgusting. Did I mention it's disgusting? And in fact, deliberately disgusting, abhorrently disgusting. It's as if you've been an octopus that's had all its tentacles out, using them to stick onto other vibrations. Now it's time to unstick them from this vibrational enmeshment. It's time to bring all the tentacles back to you so that you can use them to propel yourself forward. This is lostness. Because they're telling you to propel yourself forward so that you can then give all of your vibration to them. Propel yourself forward where? Into unity consciousness? Into their ring of inclusion? Come on. This is disgusting. It's as if you've been in this power strip with 5 different electrical cords plugged into you with an extension cord going into one part of the wall. Rather than having your power source on an extension cord plugged back into source to your vibrational autonomy. So they're literally saying that your vibration comes from source, which is not true, because they're also saying that it's your vibration that will propel you to source. So which is it? Which is it? Is there the vibration coming from source, or is the vibration coming from separation consciousness and helping propel them into source? Because that's why it was kind of saying that separation consciousness is rocket fuel for being here as you include it into the oneness, into wholeness, because that's the source. See how they're really getting you lost in the logic, in just the multiple words that they have to explain light, and making you believe your spirit is that? Evolving separation consciousness, fear of being alone? Bro, this is so insane. Demons are wild. Like, you can literally be fighting demons are so wild in how they will use the logic of freedom to enslave people. And they will literally do anything they can to somehow make people feel understood. The power of using logic to shine something at someone that is some kind of truth and makes them feel understood so that you can use them for your own intentions is truly that's the demon game. That's the logical light demon game. How do you use light to make people do what you want? And this is just the deep, horrible lostness extremity of that. Extremity, whatever. Extreme examples. Man, I feel like my brain is melting reading this tablet, honestly. Genuinely. This is insane. Fear of being alone. The hypocrisy. That's the word. That's the word. The true hypocrisy is wild. It's just wild manipulation. Because the only reason you would resonate, as I said many, many times, the only reason you would want to unite with another consciousness that's not yours is because you do not want to be alone. So they're somehow going to address this and trap that energy. So even though they have addressed that you want unity consciousness because you fear being alone, you're still going to feel good not being alone and giving your all one to this alone, to this thought. As we're transmitting this consciousness to all those that will be within the pages of the Tablets of Light, we're noticing an absolute terror of being alone. How dare they? Yeah, they're really trying to trap it. It's brought up when we speak about vibrational autonomy, because to be alone in tribal consciousness meant that you no longer lived. Again, that's built on the premise that you're separate, that you die, that you're not eternal. They're getting people lost in consciousness. It's so much bigger. Life imitates spirit. It's not the spirit imitating life. But they are only making your awareness of who you are based on life because they control life and the stories of life. So this is the whole colonialism game. This deep-seated fear of being alone is within the DNA. Yeah, even that, right? Them just throwing out DNA and that's where the deep fear of being alone is. I would never say that. I've explained what it is. It's literally your fear of being alone is because for whatever internal reason, you do not want to marry your woman to your man. You do not want to put your feelings into your thoughts. You don't feel like nurturing yourself internally. So you want to leave home. But you're only going to bring your problems that you don't want to deal with internally, externally. Which is why they're obsessed with being yeah, bring your problems here because we want all of it. And we'll steal all of it because we'll use all of it against you. Honestly, yeah, this is it. I'll see you in part 10, where we will get into awareness, peace, and abundance. Yeah, this is comedy. They're talking about really, fearing being alone. But they're attaching it to evolution. So I just explained why spirit would fear being alone. We gotta love being alone. Fasting is about loving being alone. When you fast, you learn how to unite your feelings into thoughts that you actually desire. That's what it means to be alone, is to have thoughts you desire. People who don't like being alone are not creating thoughts that they desire, that they feel comfortable with. So then they obsess over me and create cults worshiping me. And then these entities are stealing the imaginations of the entities who are wrapped up in those cults in the Council of Light and masturbating together in this ring of inclusion based on how they all want to connect with me so that they can actually be happy. We're not about that over here. We're actually infinite individuals. I will see you in part 10 of this episode 3. This is wild. Tablet Talks, baby. Gang.